panic and hysteria. Poor man learn, the rich man don't care for your narcissist mindset spread like malaria. Sit back and watch the show, America.
I must have forgotten that he played piano. You can't even see the piano with that thing on his head. Wagwan people thems. So this has been a very, very, very long overdue return to some Ren. So it's near my birthday as well. I think was that the last time I reacted to Ren? Maybe there was like one or two after then, but that was like end of March. Obviously, we're at the kind of end of May, and I've been cycling through some other artists and stuff, which I've explained in previous posts already. So I know that if you are here, then you understand. But what's been really cool is because I've still got so many things to venture when it comes to Ren. Literally, like a kid in a candy shop. So I'm like, ooh. Where to go first? So I've actually decided that I'm going to do the Money Game series because it's a 3-part series, and again I've been away for a little while with the Ren reactions and stuff, so I think that'd be a nice, good, juicy bit of Ren to kind of dig on into. And then I think there's a few other ones, like Back on 74 I think is another one that's caught my eye, and didn't ever get around to doing Wade in the Water. So I really want to do Wade in the Water. It's a Ren week, so I'll be able to do a few Ren reactions this week, I think. So yeah, I'm quite excited about that. I cannot lie. And I think the thing as well, like, which I think has just been so awesome, which I say in every single video, is that every single renegade or person who has maybe stumbled across Ren or whatever, like, has just been so freaking cool. Like, I've had so many lovely messages, like because I really do genuinely read them all. I just can't respond to all of them all the time because I get so many. But there's just so many lovely people out there. Like, so if it's you, if I'm talking to you, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I don't know much about what this Money Game is, but I'm gonna presume after the tales of Jenny and Screech that it's gonna be something that's gonna be quite visceral. And maybe something that's probably quite relevant for what's going on in the world right now, because I know there's a lot of people, myself included, that are broke pocket, and there's a lot of people that are like putting their wrong focus onto the wrong people. So I don't know whether the Money Game is going to be about like the trappings of money and capitalism and where that's led to and where we're at right now and who are the scapegoat. That's where my head is going as to what it might be about. So I'm expecting it to be heavy. I'm not going into this thinking, "Whoa, we're in for some nice frivolity." Do you know what I mean? Which is absolutely fine. So let's waste our time and let's dive straight on in. Money Game. I've gone for the one that's there's a video that's got all 3 parts in it, so I'm just gonna do that one as opposed to the separate ones. But the first part has got 6.5 million views, so I already know how popular this is. And also as well, you know, it's really funny. So like because I always say that, like, when you're waiting for something, like waiting for a bus and then like a million buses come at once. Do you know how many people have sent me the video of High Ren to be like, "Oh, Luke," because obviously not all my friends know that I've got a channel, so it's starting to filter through that people now know, and they're like, "Oh, I think this would be really good for you to react to. Like, you got to check him out." And I'm like, "Boo." I've already seen him.
Strange times we're living in, world can put fear in it. Hierarchy parties, they make us feel inferior. Greed runs through parliament interiors. Devils walk among us, they fit the criteria. Theory, strike, fearing, weary-minded men, when we're clearly living in dictatorships, nearly blinded by illusions to choose. But who's fooling who? ball chain to your shoes on pain. It's a crying shame. Pursuit of our own wealth lights a flame that makes greed a game that lets the whole world burn. As the world turns, the whole world burns. Money was invented for trade, but now those bits of paper twist hearts, make slaves, turns a saint into a sinner, a child into a killer. His finger on the trigger of a money game.
Oh, rain, 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 rain. A storm it comes our way, and no surprise to distorted lies, poison in the veins. But we got the point to blame, 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 blame. It's easier to blame, but point the mirror at ourselves. We're all part of this whole money game. This whole money game. This whole.
Dear Mr. President, it's evident that everyone's a resident of fear when they support these ideas that keep us separate, when they make us believe that everybody is coming to terrorize you in the streets. They say proudly through gritted teeth, it's my right to hate, that's freedom of speech. When did freedom become a reason to hate, a way to justify a racist slur or insult we make? There's an irony in freedom, because us in the West, we have pillaged and plundered and murdered our savages, colonized all of the rest. It's called hypocrisy. Preach a certain value that you'd never keep yourselves. Your country was in flames, you demigrate yourselves in a second. Still you spit your venom, demonizing immigrants when really you're an immigrant, cause all of us are immigrants or descended from immigrants. Irony is imminent, I'll shed the light on immigrants. America was colonized by Britain, Britain it was colonized by Rome, also colonized by the Saxons. They were German, by the way. You know how people throw shade upon the Germans because of history's pain, and yet we make the same mistakes all again. Demonize a whole people, Jewish or Muslim, the same and the same. Old situations play and repeat, the same old TV shows repeat. Yeah, we worship the bleak. Our opinions are our own and we follow like sheep. There's no left, there's no right, in the middle we sleep.
Rain, 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 rain. The storm it comes our way, and no surprise to distorted lies, poison in the veins. But we got to point and blame, 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 blame. It's easier to blame, but point the mirror at ourselves. We're all part of this old money game. This old money game. This old money game.
Wow. Listen, I'm guessing that's the end of part one, right? That's gonna be the end of part one, surely. Is it? I mean, 16 minutes, that means 13 minutes. Does that mean the other two parts are like 7 minutes long? But that does feel like a natural end. I'll just press play a bit more, just. Okay, no, yeah, okay. You know already that I'm gonna play that part again, yeah. You know. I mean, just understand. Like, I'm in this whole new realm when it comes to like my reactions, when it comes to like anything rappy, anything that's like, in fact, not even anything rappy, like even things like Aurora or just in general. Like, I'm like lyrics. I want to know what you meant. I want to know how you meant it. I want to know the context of what you said, where that art came. Like, I want to know it all. And with Ren in particular, like there are so many things that he speaks on. This is like the English language and literature like coming out in me where I'm just like, right, what did the author mean? Let's talk about it. So I love the fact that I wasn't too far off with where I thought Money Game was going to be about in terms of what he was going to be talking about. But I couldn't have foreseen just how he would have interwoven life, yeah? Life. Oh, life. Like how he would have interwoven that into a tune. Because at one point I'm like, look, the stuff he's talking about here is pretty serious. Stop jigging up yourself. But I'm like, but no. Like, how am I not going to like not move when I hear a tune? I move. It's what I do. Do you know what I mean? Call me happy feet. It's what I'm about. So yeah. So already I'm like, what you're talking about is really hard hitting, really relevant. But again, you've managed to like interweave that into a tune that I'm bopping to, and I'm mm, mm, like that. So that is so sick. Melody wise, vocally, like the chorus in what I'm talking about. He sounds. I don't know. I think this might be my favorite, like singing, like vibe from him. Obviously, he did a really good job with Chinchilla and stuff, and but in terms of how this sounds, and again, I know it's like super political, so it's not every day that you really want to be, focused on the bigots and stuff like that. But I think because it's so consciously relevant, like it would make me want to play it anyway because it's life, and he's not only just singing, but he's displaying like the bars as well. There were some bits in there that like if the lyrics were on the screen, I would have been like, I don't even know what you just said there, because you know Flash from Justice League, you just your mouth just boom 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 boom. So I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna listen to it again and just see whether or not like I can pick up exactly everything that he said. But from what I'm getting from it so far, he's very much just like, yo, there is so much money like that has been made, paper that was there for trade initially, but now we're all part of it. And as much as you've got this aristocracy, the MPs and government and on all these rich banking elite people that basically got us doing all kinds of culture wars and fighting each other and stuff, actually we're part of it too. And there was a line that you said there about something like a passion lighting a flame for you or something, but then even then like that then can turn into greed because you're then wanting to turn your passion into something that's going to make you money. Like, it just made me instantly think of my channel, because I was like, I love my channel, like, and I'm passionate about it, but at the same time, because we live in a world where money runs the world, like I need to also have this do something that's going to make me money. Otherwise, like, I'm going to be full of passion and poor. Do you know what I mean? Like, I need to eat and I got bills. So like that resounded with me straight away. And also the line about holding up the mirror to ourselves and stuff, because it's easy to point the finger and it's easy to blame, but actually how many of us are actually willing to go, well, here's a mirror, mate, like, what you saying? It's only part one and I'm already like, jeez, wow. And it sounds like a sea shanty almost.
Strange times we're living in, world can put fear in you. Hierarchy parties, they make us feel inferior. Read runs through parliament in theory. As devils walk among us, they fit the criteria.
I mean, the fact they said there, sorry, I'm going to stop this because the lyrics are up here rather than me having to go back to the lyrics and da. So like, greed runs through parliament. Like, I mean, that doesn't even need explaining. Do you know what I mean? We definitely do live in a time where like fear is out there and can make us feel fearful. But the fact that like there is so much money running through, look how much money they wasted during the pandemic. How much money has just gone? I don't see anyone recording that money back. I don't see any investigations about to get that back. But it's okay though. It's okay. All that elderly can just go without heating. Yeah, great, lovely.
Yeah, eerie theory, strike fearing, weary-minded man when we're clearly living in dictatorships, nearly blinded by illusions to choose. But who's fooling who? Ball chain to your shoes on pain. It's a crying shame. Pursuit of our own wealth lights a flame that makes greed a game that lets the whole world burn. As the world turns, the whole world burns.
So again, there's so many bars in that. The illusion of being able to choose, because look how many people feel disillusioned about who to vote for and stuff. Like, I'll be honest, like, I've always voted for, as long as I've been like able to vote, I've voted. I couldn't tell you the last, apart from Brexit, I definitely voted to not leave. And I also remember voting for the Lib Dems once as well, when Nick Clegg was part of stuff. And that went well. So, there's lots of people that feel really disillusioned, and it's like, yeah, we live in a democracy, but do we? What are we getting to choose, really? when so many people are doing the same said things that you said that you weren't gonna do because X said Y. So, but now you've just gone and done the same thing. So you're just as corrupt as them then. So who exactly am I voting for? So like bars, and then he said that again something about lighting a flame in you, but then again like it turns into what was it? And that who's fooling who? A ball chain to your shoes, like because it is like that, isn't it? Like money really does rule the world. If you've not got none, like it's literally like oxygen. You can't breathe.
Weary-minded men when we're clearly living in the
Dictatorship.
nearly blinded by illusions to choose, but who's fooling who? Ball chain to your shoes on pain. It's a crying shame. Pursuit of our own wealth lights a flame to make greed a game that lets the whole world burn. As the world turns, the whole world burns.
So pursuit of our own wealth lights a flame. So it's not necessarily about his passion, sorry. It's about, yes, so I took that to be his passion. But still, making your own money. I mean, people want to go up the career ladder or they want to start their own businesses or, again, have a passion project that turns into an absolute huge venture. But again, you then start to chase the growth of that and you're part of it. When you hear about people that have started something, say like I don't know, there might be like a restaurant in your area that started off. In fact, I've got a great example. There is a restaurant, I won't name it, but there's a restaurant not too far from me that does the most amazing burgers. Well, did the most amazing burgers, and I'm talking like the quality of the food was just next level from the buns, the actual stuff they put in the burgers. The actual burgers that were in there, like the applewood smoked bacon and maple bacon with the different types of cheese. Look, listen, they even had these fries. I won't say what the fries are because it will give it away where it is. But like, they even had these fries. I'm like, yo, this is banging. I ordered from there probably about 3 or 4 months ago, and I was so disappointed. I was like, what has happened? The portions were smaller, the burger was smaller, the actual quality of what was in the burger wasn't as good. And I was like, I wonder if this is just because everything's gone up, so therefore they've had to reduce costs now because they're looking at their profit margin. So what started off as something that was absolutely incredible that would make me go and order due to money and the chase of it and keeping up with the money game, like they've had to, I'm presuming, cut costs and cut corners and whatever, and now we've got a subpar product which was bland, tastes bad, and small. It was really small. So it's really easy when you're chasing something for yourself to end up doing that, I guess. So yeah. Anyway, as the world turns, the whole world burns.
Money was invented for trade, but now those bits of paper twist hearts, make slaves, turns a saint into a sinner, a child into a killer. His finger on the trigger of a money game.
Oh, rain, 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 rain. A storm it comes our way. And no surprise to distorted lies, poison in the veins. But we got the point of blame, 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 blame. It's easier to blame. We point the mirror at ourselves. We're all part of this whole money game.
But then, he raises a good point, like, especially when he's just like, turns a child into a killer, but, the person that fingers on the trigger, a Satan to a sinner, like, it does. Like, you see how money changes people? Like, have you ever watched Traitors? Like, I love Traitors. I think it's such a brilliant psychological game. But again, money, what money will do, how money can change your life, and then what you will do to backstab other people. I mean, that's the name of the game. But even if you're not in Traitors, people will do that anyway. Like, how many family members? I'm so fed up of hearing like how many family members. My mum used to be a social worker, and like she used to talk about, like, obviously never anyone's personal information, but just how many examples there are of people that commit financial abuse, and 9 times out of 10 it is a family member who's rinsing out the bank account. Do you know what I mean? Like, what are we living in where that is something that you would do? That's your mum, that's your nan, that's your granddad. Why are you rinsing out their bank account, taking out their gyro? Like, what? So again, the things that money makes you do, these bits of paper, absolutely bang on. But again, it's really easy to point the fingers and point, and apportion blame, but we're all part of it. We are all part of it. But then I don't know what the answer is though, because ultimately, if we are pointing the finger and we are saying, well, if that's the reason why, and that's the fault. But you also have to, what's the saying? Don't hate the player, hate the game. Like, what are you meant to do then? Like,
A storm it comes our way, and no surprise to distorted lies, poison in the veins, but we got
see, those who rise through poison, those who rise with distorted lies, with poison in their veins. So these are people. I'd imagine a bit like what's happening with the energy stuff at the moment, where you've got all these massive rich oil companies that are just quite happy to be like, you, Doris, yeah, you're paying £16 million for your next bit of electric. Yeah, sorry, it's just the way it is. It is what it is. Sorry, Doris, you can't afford it. Turn off the electric. Like, you've risen up your ranks, and now you're and what you're telling the people, like, is obviously this is not every single person, like, but there is obviously a lot of deceit and there's a lot of corruption to help people get to where they are. Do you know what I mean? Like, and poisoning your veins, because like the mentality is to keep my money and make sure that I'm okay. Don't worry about nobody else. But we like to point the blame. I don't know how you couldn't blame that mentality. I don't know how you couldn't blame that.
Blame, 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 blame. It's easier to blame. We point the mirror at ourselves. We're all part of this whole money game.
His voice sounds incredible on this.
This whole money game. This whole. Dear Mr. President, it's evident that everyone's a resident of fear when they support these ideas that keep us separate, when they make us believe that everybody is coming to terrorize you in the streets. They say proudly through gritted teeth, it's my right to hate. That's freedom of speech.
Again, I don't know when he came out with this, which I'm sure I'll find out afterwards. But like, this literally, I mean, he could have written this yesterday. Literally, this could have been written yesterday. The fact he's talking to the president. Like, I know there's, listen, I try and keep my channel as, neutral when it comes to politics and all that kind of division and stuff, because it's just nice just to come and just escape and whatever. Like, but like when the music takes you there, well, that's out of my hands, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like, there is that. I don't think there's ever been a more divisive president than we have right now. Like, I really don't. So the fact that he has put pen to paper, and this is as relevant as it is, and again, like he says, people through gritted teeth think that people are coming to terrorize you in the streets and stuff, because that's the rhetoric that people are kind of sending out. Do you know, and particularly what people that look a certain way. Like, I never thought we'd ever be in a world where people could genuinely be disappeared without having due process, and people would defend that and say that's absolutely fine. How is that even a world that we're living in? It's so crazy. And when he was talking there about the right to freedom of speech and stuff, and like, there was a bit before this.
Dear Mr. President, it's evident that everyone's a resident of fear when they support these ideas that keep us separate, when they make us believe that everybody is coming to terrorize you in the streets. They say proudly through gritted teeth, it's my right to hate. That's freedom of speech.
That's it. It's my right to hate. That's freedom of speech. Because so many people always say, well, that's my right. I saw a video just the other day, right? Oh, I don't know who this white lady was. And she was on a panel with Piers Morgan, and I never agree with Piers Morgan on anything. And she was like, oh, just drop in the N-bomb. Like, I've just never seen anything like it. Like, the brazen level of this woman to be like, and there was a black people on the panel, and Pierce was like, but are you just saying this? And she's like, yeah. She's like, well, that makes you a disgusting human being. Well, I guess because some people might think so, but let's talk more about that. That white woman that was calling that little kid an N-bomb at the playground and thinking it's absolutely fine. Like, their defense of all of that hate and vitriol and just repugnant behavior is freedom of speech. Hey, freedom of speech.
When did freedom become a reason to hate? A way to justify a racist slur or insult we make? There's an irony in freedom, because us in the West, we have pillaged and plundered and murdered that savages colonized all of the rest. It's called a...
Sorry, I'm definitely going to put that back. How are you even saying that so quickly? Excuse me? Sorry, I'm not usually one to kind of stop and start like this, but wow.
When did freedom become a reason to hate? A way to justify a racist slur or insult we make? There's an irony in freedom, because us in the West, we have pillaged and plundered and murdered that savages colonized all of the rest. It's called hypocrisy. Preachers...
Is everyone paying attention? Yeah? Is everyone paying attention? Because I do feel a lot of people, yeah, that feel very, very, very self-righteous. Some people tried to convince me that I should be almost grateful, really. The conquering of all these different countries and all the Commonwealth, that I should be really, really happy with what Britain's role in all of that has been. I should be happy and almost grateful, really. It's something to be proud of. I don't know whether you've seen who I am or where my family came from, but that isn't something I'm ever going to be like, oh, I'm just so grateful for that. Thank you. Thanks. You know, it's like, what? Crazy that he is like quite literally calling out that hypocrisy when you're talking about having freedom, and yet that's what we did in order to attain the freedom that we have now.
When did freedom become a reason to hate? A way to justify a racist slur or insult we make? There's an irony in freedom, because us in the West, we have pillaged and plundered and murdered that savages colonized all of the rest. It's called hypocrisy. Preach a certain value that you'd never keep yourselves. Your country was in flames, you demigrate yourselves in a second. Still you spit your venom, demonizing immigrants when really you're an immigrant, because all of us are immigrants or descended from immigrants. Irony is imminent, I'll shed the light on immigrants. America was colonized by Britain. Britain, it was colonized by Rome. Also colonized by the Saxons. They were German, by the way. You know how people throw shade upon the Germans because of history's pain, and yet we make the same mistakes all again. Demonize a whole people, Jewish or Muslim, the same and the same. Old situations play and repeat. The same old TV shows repeat. Yeah, we worship the bleak. Our opinions are our own and we follow like sheep. There's no left, there's no right. In the middle we sleep. Right.
Listen, I don't know what I was expecting when it. Well, I do know what I was expecting when it came to the money game, but this is so much deeper and so much more relevant. Like this is a history lesson for people that don't even know. Like I heard of what was the word called when people are fearful of are fearful of information and they're fearful of knowledge because they want to stay within that matrix. I mean, they're quite happy to just sit and have it taste like chicken, and I can sit in my hate, and I don't want you to educate me or to be logical about my thought process at all. And yet, like, Ren has gone out of his way to put a song together that does exactly that. I'm going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. Yeah. I'm going to put it in a way, in a 3.5-minute track. Yeah. I'm going to put it in a way that is vibes, that where I'm singing, but I'm talking. Yeah, I am absolutely talking. So you're going to hear me, because how are you going to be talking about immigrants? I'm so fed up of hearing the immigrant conversation. I'm so fed up of it. Like, and it's like, I keep saying to people, like, and these are even friends of mine. I mean, like, these are people that I know, that, like, I'm like, what if we were in a situation, yeah, where our country was on fire and we needed help and support? Like, would you expect and hope that people would offer their hand and say, okay, like, we will do what we can? Because the thing is, you're going to get bad agents everywhere. Like, in the companies that I've worked in, like when we've had bonus structures and stuff, like you've got things in place for people that will gamify the system. That's just someone who works at a company that decides, oh, actually, I'm going to try and get away with something because I can. I don't think that's something that is a singular problem depending on the hue or pigment of your skin color. I mean, I think that, or what religion you might be, I think that's just, you get those kind of people everywhere. That doesn't mean that a whole sex of people suddenly should be brandished as X or Y or Z. So I love the fact he's just like, I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about it, because all this, like, British culture and it's being eroded and like, do we not have Germanic royal family? Like is it Mountbatten? Which part of do you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Like we're all a melting pot here, really. So we shouldn't be in a situation where we're trying to hierarchy a class of people. And I just love the fact that he is willing to go there. Yes, Ren.
Rain, 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 rain. The stormy comes our way. And no surprise to distorted lies. Poison in the veins. But we got to point the blame, 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 blame. It's easier to blame. But point the mirror at ourselves. We're all part of this old money game.
It's so simple.
This old money game. This old money game.
That honestly, that has literally just punched me in the face. That's punched me clean in the face. Like I said, I don't even talk about these things on my channel because, like I said, there's so much division in it that I'm just like, I just don't really want to get into that with people. I just want to come enjoy the music, come and enjoy the movies, come enjoy the anime. Do you know what I mean? Like, but you know, like anybody else, do you know what I mean, that has a brain, that cares about other human beings and stuff, like I care. So of course, like I've got an opinion on things, and it's just really awesome how he's managed to, in 3.5 minutes, like capture so much. I keep saying relevance because this is what's happening on the streets today. Like, like look how many people are so sad and down and don't know what to do, like frustrated, scared because of what's happening, like whether it's online, virtually. I read somewhere today that someone got kicked in the face because he was gay, like, and all he did was be like, I don't appreciate your homophobic slurs. Can we not do that? And they kicked him in the head. Like, you know, there is so much division. There is just so much. It's just like, why? Like, what? And again, it's easy to point the fingers at other people. So it's their fault. It's all those trans people, it's all those gay people, it's all those brown ones on the boat. It's all you there. Like, I saw something on Facebook today, and someone was talking about there was a guy that had approached I say he's a friend of mine, but he's someone that I know, had approached his family and approached his wife and his kid. Now obviously that is disgusting. Do you know what I mean? Like, and there is no place for anybody like that. But because this guy was brown, the conversation kind of didn't just stem from this person is a disgusting human being. It went straight into all of the other tropes which are just, hey, I've got no relevance. You don't even know where this person is from. Like, from this video, there was zero way to tell where this person was from, and yet all the chat was going into, this is why there's going to be 10,000 more on these boats, and I was just like, are you? I mean, I never comment on things like that because I don't like to argue with stupid people, but I was just like, this is ridiculous. Like, this is a disgusting thing, but that doesn't result in this line and this thread that people are so happy to just spat out the hate because there's freedom of speech and it's fine. And actually, it's easier to blame someone that looks like him for everything, yeah, than looking in the mirror and being like, actually, like, which parts am I responsible for my own situation? Do you know what I mean? Anyway. Wow. We're on 36 minutes and we're only in part 1. I'm definitely going to have to edit some of this out. Definitely. Like, 36 minutes and only part 1. Wow. Okay. Part 2. And I'm guessing these parts must be even longer because we've got 13 minutes left to go. So half and half of that, that's like 6.5 minutes for each song. Okay, hit me.
Strange time of living in panic and hysteria. Poor man learn, the rich man don't care for you. spread like malaria. Sit back and watch the show. America, Britain split through fickle shit. A government of hypocrites. These counterfeit politicians sit in parliament, not adequate. Come on. Needlessly bleeding resources all dry. Turn a blind eye if it means a pay rise. Oh, what a shame it would be, I would die if number 10 Downing Street burned in a fire. Only joking, only messing, don't be stressing. I'm a peaceful adolescent, there's no need to be unpleasant. Write my thesis in a rhyme scheme to analyze the brain while my fingers on the trigger of a money game.
Oh, rain, 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 rain. A storm, it comes our way. And no surprise to distorted lies. Poison in the veins, but we die upon the blame, 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 blame. It's easier to blame. Good point, the mirror at ourselves. We're all part of this whole money game.
I like how it's slightly different to the first one.
This old money game. This old.
Money is a game and the ladder we climb turns a saint into a sinner with his finger in crime. I'll break it down for you motherfuckers line by line. This is business economics in a nursery rhyme. She sells seashells on a seashore, but the value of these shells will fall due to the laws of supply and demand. No one wants to buy shells because there's loads on the sand. Step one, must create a sense of scarcity. Shells will sell much better if the people think they're rare, you see. Bear with me, take as many shells as you can find and hide them on an island. Stockpile them high until they're rarer than a diamond. Step two, gotta make the people think that they want them, really want them, really fucking want them. Hit them like Bronson. Influencers, product placement, featured primetime entertainment. If you haven't got a shell, then you're just a fucking waste, man. Free, it's monopoly. Invest inside some property. Start a corporation, make a logo, do it properly. Shells must sell, that will be a new philosophy. Swallow all your morals, they're a poor man's quality. 4. Expand, expand, expand. Clear forest, make land, fresh blood on hands. 5. Why just shells? Why limit yourself? She sells seashells, sell oil as well. 6. Guns, sell stock, sell diamonds, sell rock, sell water to a fish, sell the time to a clock. 7. Press on the gas, take your foot off the brakes, then run to be the president of the United States. 8. Big smile, make big wave, that's great. Now the truth is overrated, tell lies out the gate. 9. Polarize the people, controversy is the game. It don't matter if they hate you, if they all say your name. 10. The world is yours. Step out on the stage to a round of applause. You're a liar, cheat, a devil, a whore, and you sell seashells on the seashore.
Rain, 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 rain. A storm, it comes our way. And no surprise to distorted lies. Poison in the veins, but we die upon the blame, 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 blame. It's easier to blame. Good point, the
Oh my
mirror
gosh.
at ourselves. We're all part of this whole money game. This old money game. This old.
I cannot express, like I literally cannot express how blown my mind is right now. That he even said, I'm gonna break this down for you in like a nursery rhyme scheme, yeah. And that's exactly what he did with seashells on the seashore. That's what he did. He broke that down with seashells on the seashore. Dude, I'm really, really, really blown away. And I understand now, like, why people... There's a lot of renegades that say, I just listen to Ren. I don't listen to anyone else, just listen to Ren. And I can understand to a degree because there's a consciousness and a transparency that cuts through all that crap. Yeah. Like, and it's real. Do you know what I mean? What he's spitting is real. When he was doing High Rent, it was real. Like, what's going on in your head, real. You know, Jenny tells Jenny and Screech, this is passed down trauma, generational trauma is real. And what he's talking about here is real. That 8-step process, 10-step process to like get us in a position that we need things. Like I was working for a sales company, and our sales process was very much like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, you need to create a need. Because ultimately, people always tell you that they don't need to, that they don't want something. Do you know what I mean? Like, so you need to create something that makes them go that you need this. And this is one, like, and again, I'm not taking anything away from salespeople. I've got some amazing friends who are fantastic at sales. And you know, at the end of the day, like, this is the world that we live in. Do you know what I mean? So if someone's going to say something, it may well be someone who actually cares. I mean, I won't say that every salesperson cares, but my friends that I'm talking about do. But I was never good at sales for this exact reason, because I'm not very good at trying to fabricate a need for someone. And some might say it's, you know, you're not a good closer and whatever. I just don't care enough to make you part with your money for something that you probably don't need, because when I want something and I need something, I know that I need that. I don't need someone to make me go, look, you really need this. I know you didn't think that you needed this, but let me tell you how much you really need this, because your situation, I don't need that. I don't want it. I don't like it. Which is why I was never good at sales, which is why I loved doing my channel, because I'm like, I haven't got to buy into a lot of that. Obviously, there's still certain things that, again, with any business you have to do, because again, we're all part of the money game. Do you know what I mean? This is what makes the world go around. One of the companies I used to work for, I never forget, like, we had a product, right, which was basically pants. Like, and I don't care what anybody wants to tell me. And I know already, if any of my friends that I used to work with come across this video and they see, and they see this video in particular, they'll know exactly what product I'm talking about. Like, it was pants. It was pants. Like, it was pants. And I remember, like, selling these products, like, on the proviso of what we believed it would do. And obviously the customers then come back and be like, this ain't doing but one thing that you said it was going to do. And we're like, oh, $11.99 now per month, excluding VAT. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, that we created the need, and then the product didn't even deliver what it was meant to. Like, it's just the way of the world is so. You can sometimes, I think you can be forgiven, yeah, for being a little bit bleak about things, because it's like, how are we in this position where these are the things that are valued more than people? I saw a clip of someone talking about what he would do. I'm sure it was on one of the news reports or something. What he would do if because he didn't know he was being filmed, like, and he was like, what he would do if he was given some artillery, like, to the people that were coming across the boats and stuff. And he was saying how he would take them all out, babies, mums, dads, all of them, take them all out, and proper. Like, what are you even saying? And yet there are people that are more bothered about the NASDAQ and the frigging Dow Jones and the FTSE. Like, they're more bothered about that. They're willing to, like, do harm to other people to protect their monetary interests, yeah, and have more care about that than another human being. That the world is messed up. And when he started going with the politicians and just all the corruption and all the deceit and all. I don't know about you guys, right? I used to be a lot more into politics than what I am. And the reason that I'm kind of, like, out of it, like, or I choose not to spend my time watching it too much, even though I do keep abreast with things. That has never gone. But, you know, things like, you know, PMQs and stuff, like, I just cannot watch it. I'm like, what is the point of this? If someone can tell me, that'd be great, because I'm just like, you don't answer any questions. Like, regardless of what the person actually asked you, you're just gonna completely speak over them about whatever point you wanted to speak about. You got all these people jeering in the juju, like, this whole pomp and ceremony, this whole frigging this pantomime, and it's like, there are actual, real, vital things that people want to hear and talk about, and you should not be allowed. I think, yeah, they should make a law and say, do you know what, yeah, because they're like, oh, you know, you cannot call someone a liar. If I turn out tomorrow, yeah, and I'm like, oh, Steve, sorry, I know I said that I would pick up your daughter, and I didn't, because my dog died and I couldn't get there. And my dog's just running around the floor absolutely fine. That's a lie. I am a liar. Why can you not call an MP a liar? I don't understand that. Like, there should be a law against that. There should be a law against, like, when you can just call a spade and be like, if you're lying, you're a liar. And also, if I ask you a question, you are legally obligated to answer it. You're not allowed to dance around it. You're not allowed to, politicize your way out of it. Like a yes or no answer. I want an answer. Because I can guarantee if I was in court, yeah, and I was up for whatever charge, and the barrister's asking me questions about what I did or didn't do, I can't be dancing around the question. The judge would be like, answer the question. Why can politicians not be held to the same account? And everything that happened, exactly how I'm going with the party gate and like all of the different bits of bull that they told us. When you're making us do things that you ain't doing, yeah, and you want us to believe in you. And then when my man, what's his name, Sunak, when he was like, yeah, okay, we're gonna be the party of conscience and accountability, credibility, and on your watch, you've got people doing all kinds of madness. What are we meant to believe? Do you know what I mean? It's like you're all the same. It's like you're all the same. So it's just really, again, interesting. Again, I don't talk about these things on my channel, but it's just really interesting that like within these two songs, he's just hammered it home. He's hammered it home. Like, I just again, I'm going to have to listen to it again because he said so much. He said so much in such a succinct and clever, rhythmic, melodic way that again, I'm just like, I kind of want to shock out, but I'm like, but it's also really sad what you're talking about. Like, and I like the fact that you've got like an electric guitar on this one, which I think the first one was acoustic.
Strange time of living in panic and hysteria. Poor man learn, the rich man don't care for your narcissist mindset spread like malaria. Sit back and watch the show.
I love all the clips as well.
Through fickle shit, a government of hypocrites.
Crits.
These counterfeit politicians sit in parliament, not adequate. Needlessly bleeding resources all dry. Turn a blind eye if it means a pay rise. Oh, what a shame it would be, I would die if number 10 Downing Street burned in a fire. Only joking, only messing, don't be stressing. I'm a peaceful adolescent, there's no need to be unpleasant. Write my thesis in a rhyme scheme to analyze the brain while my fingers on the trigger of a money game. Oh, rain, 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 a storm it comes our way. And no surprise to distorted lies, poison in the veins, but we don't upon the blame. It's easier to blame.
This might have become my new favourite.
The mirror at ourselves. We're all part of this whole money game.
Hey.
This old money game. This old money is a game, and the ladder we climb turns a saint into a sinner with his finger in crime. I'll break it down for you motherfuckers line by line. This is business economics in a nursery rhyme.
I mean, come
She
on.
sells seashells on a seashore, but the value of these shells will fall due to the laws of supply and demand. No one wants to buy shells because there's loads on the sand. Step one, must create a sense of scarcity. Shells will sell much better if the people think they're rare, you see. Bear with me, take as many shells as you can find and hide them on an island. Stockpile them high until they're rarer than a diamond. Step two, gotta make the people think that they want them, really want them, really fucking want them. Hit them like Bronson. Influencers, product placement, featured primetime entertainment. If you haven't got a shell, then you're just a fucking waste, man. Free, it's monopoly. Invest inside some property. Start a corporation, make a logo, do it properly. Shells must sell, that will be a new philosophy. Swallow all your morals, they're a poor man's quality. Expand, expand, expand. Clear forest, make land, fresh blood on hands, fire. Why just shells? Why limit yourself? She sells seashells, sell oil as well. 6 guns, sell stock, sell diamonds, sell rock, sell water to a fish, sell the time to a clock. 7 press on the gas, take your foot off the brakes, then run to be the president of the United States. 8 big smile, make big wave, that's great. Now the truth is overrated, tell lies out the gate. 9 polarize the people, controversy is the game. It don't matter if they hate you, if they all say your name. 10, the world is yours. Step out on the stage to a round of applause. You're a liar, cheat, a devil, a whore, and you sell seashells on the seashore. Rain, 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 a storm it comes our way. And no surprise to distorted lies, poison in the veins, but we die upon the blame. It's easier to blame. Good point, the mirror at us.
honestly, I think this has become my new favorite. I think because it's just so relevant, like, and he's just there's nothing that I've disagreed with him on. Nothing, absolutely nothing. Everything you've said, everything from the first second to 7 minutes and 7 seconds in, I'm like, damn straight. Yep, that's exactly, yep, yeah. And he's done it all so melodically, like. That 10-step process feels like that's exactly how it's been and what's happening. Exactly that. Like, create the controversy. Don't care if people hate you because they're saying your name. Expand. I love how the brass came in. Like, and all that drama came in, and even more with the electric guitar as he was getting through to, like, buying the weapons and the oil, and again expansion of the land and cutting down the trees, and and then being able to run for president, walking out to a round of applause. Also, we were talking about the need, make you really want it, make it really effing want it. Do you know what I mean? Like, you really, really need it. Because again, it's just in your face. Adverts, like, influencers, like, making you feel like you're basically a waste man if you don't have certain things. I never forget, just as a kid, like, I used to love Saturday morning cartoons, and like, I mean, I still love cartoons, anime now, but but on a Saturday, like, there's a magical place where it's called Toys R Us, Toys R Us, Toys R Us. The amount of times I had it come on after Baba, and I'd be like, no, actually, I really do want that Skeletor staff, because the Skeletor, I did eventually get one in the end, but that's exactly how it worked. I've now seen it, I now think I want it, I'm now badgering my parents, being like, I absolutely need this thing that I never knew I needed, and so I saw it pushed in my face. All the different Power Rangers, the Power Ranger Zords, and the swords, and this and that. Like, there's so many things that get pushed in our face, and even as adults, like, if you're scrolling through Instagram or whatever, like, it's now got to the point where you'll be talking about something with someone, and then all of a sudden you're seeing it pop up in an advert. Oh, I heard that there is an episode of Black Mirror. I don't know if people watch Black Mirror, but there's an episode of Black Mirror, and I think it's the first one, where she basically is on the brink of passing away, and they save her, but by saving her, they've installed in her, basically, she's a conduit for them to be able to, like, sell stuff. So at any given moment in time, she can just switch off and suddenly just start being one of them kind of, what's the shopping channel called, QVC, like, and just start selling like a mop or whatever, or depending on what someone's talking about. She'll be like, oh, you're nearly 50. Are you looking for, over 50 dating, and or whatever? Or you can't perform in the bedroom. Have you thought about some natural remedies for your erectile dysfunction? And it's like, that is mad that they've implanted that within you, and yet it doesn't even feel that far fetched. Do you know what I mean? Because again, money, greed, wealth. The fact that we've got, like, the wealthiest person on the planet by a country mile, that is knee deep in politics that no one asked for, no one elected, and that same person is coming after people and coming after departments that just help regular Joes. Like, there is something really dark about that. And again, Money Game? I mean, there's only 3 parts, right? So I'm presuming this next part is like 9 minutes long. I guess we'll find out. Oh. I must have forgotten that he played piano. You can't even see the piano with that thing on his head. A Samuel and Ren video, okay. Is that Ren? His voice.
Let me tell you a story about a boy named Jimmy. 1 year old and his first words were mine, mine, gimme. 2 years old he was walking, 3 years old walking quickly. 4 years old he was running round the pavements of his city. 5 years old and his daddy told him, listen here son, you gotta learn to be a man. A man he works for what he wants. 6 years old and he's reading, writing, top of the bunch. And when he's 7, his progression made him student number 1. 8 years old and he's praised for unusual grades. 9, his parents paid for private school to nurture the flame. 10, 11, 12, 13, he ascends and ascends. His daddy tells him, son, money is the means to all ends. 14, solving complex mathematical equations. At 15, IQ 150, still elevating. 16, he develops complex software code that detects weaknesses in cybersecurity protocols. 17, and he sells his vision, keeping the share. Not yet an adult, but he's practically a millionaire. 18, and his daddy tells him, now you're a man. This world don't give a damn about you, so take all that you can. 19, he turns a profit, stocks and shares, invest in product. 20, double down deposits. 21, his income rockets. 22, he learns that truth is just an obstacle to wealth. If you manipulate the data, then the lie will sell itself. 23, a life of luxury, crystal and cocaine. 24, he makes the Forbes list, they're applauding his name. 25, and his daddy tells him, listen here son, while you're sitting in that palace, that don't mean that you won. 26, a business shift, he switches business to arms. He's 27, dealing nuclear and shells in Iran. 28, inside the Senate, money bought him a seat. He's 29, a role of counsel in the president's suite. Now he's 30, his daddy says you're losing the race. You're just a servant to the king, not even in second place. 31, a big maneuver for his daddy's approval, moving imports over borders from the exports out of Cuba. 32, moving grams, growing kilos to tons. He's 33, filling warehouses with powder and guns. 34, turf war with nobody to stop it. Blind eye from the po-po inside of his pocket. He gets a call. I'm sorry, son, but it's your father. Had a heart attack. I'm sorry, he's gone. 36, getting pissed off, abusing his product. 37, eyes glazed, disposition demonic. 38, with a prostitute, a moment of passion, heating up a silver spoon and then chasing the dragon. 39, getting reckless and hungry for power. Daddy's words are still driving him to kill and devour. Makes a move against the cartel, but the strategy's flawed. They retaliate and leave him in a hospital ward. A bullet buried in his vertebra and one in his leg. The doctor sighs and says, I don't think you'll be walking again. Fuck. Let me tell you a story about a boy named Jimmy. He was 40 and he cursed the words, mine, mine, gimme. 41 he wasn't walking, 42 not walking quickly,
43, never running round the pavements of his city. 44, inside a palace with a mountain of gold. But those riches turn to rubble when perspective evolves. Weighing heavy on his conscience is the value of gold. Lamborghini for a life, trading money for souls. Jimmy followed the code inside the land of the free. Put your hand inside the cookie jar, take more than you need. And his example is exaggerated versions of me. And it's a version of him, and it's a version of she, and it's a version of you. There's no escaping the blame. The way we live is parasitic. Fuck the money and fame. Call the music. This isn't entertainment. This is real life. The way we live is lunacy. Community, it declines. Hyperpolarized, always fighting, then we divide. Truth is less important than the money that we designed. Money's an invention. Politics from our invention. They all come from people's ideas. Did I mention? Border's an invention. Law and order fuel the tension. It leads to people killing each other. My solution? Everything is subject to change. We could build utopias if individuals were taught to use their brains. But if we teach kids in schools to always be sheep and put themselves before the herd if there's more money for me, then there's no future I see where the humans survive with parasites inside a petri dish with cannibal minds. Mold will grow upon the surface then consumes till it dies. And our fate could be the same without this story to the wise. "45. Jimmy comes home out of the rain, soaking wet upon a wheelchair, drinking again. He is everything he wants, he is fortune and fame. He's a fortunate fool with an unfortunate fate. With a 45 caliber aimed at his brain. 45 a fitting number cause his age is the same. Here's the words of his father, it's such a damn shame. Then he presses on the trigger of a money game.
Wait. Oh, that is part 3. I thought for a second that was still part 2. You know, the last time that I felt... Oops, keep hitting my microphone. The last time I felt like this after a Ren reaction was... Tales of Jenny and Screech, but High Ren hit me as well in that same just like what have I just watched kind of thing. Like I was so transfixed by part 3. I mean all parts have been completely interesting, but like whereas the other parts also had that kind of bouncy bit to kind of vibe to, like this didn't have any of that for me. Like there was no bouncing to this. It was just and maybe because the video was more again visceral. You know, it started off with you've got these bag things on your head with the noose and whatever, playing some, you know, some elegant, I mean, I'm sure it's not Tchaikovsky, but like, you know, some elegant music on the piano. At which point, get off, I'm coming on now. And then you start narrating this tale, like, and just so, honestly, that is this whole thing. 1, 2, 3, but particularly 3 in terms of the video for 3 is one of the best things I've seen, like, ever. Like, and again, I know it's entertainment, like you said, but in terms of being able to portray a story and to really make it hit home, like that, it's one of the most incredible pieces of art that I've seen to tell a tale like that. You know, to go from Jimmy being 2 and 3 and all the things that, like, he's hearing from his dad and all the things that he's focused on, um and that career trajectory, like, it's so common. You could replace, you know, the mathematics and the banking and whatever. You can replace that with, like, lawyers, doctors, you know, people that end up, you know, switching their you know, prime focus or prime, like, training into something that is more financial eventually, and then eventually political, and then eventually even bigger than that, where you pretty much sell your soul, like, for a seat at a table that provides you, get, you know, more access to things and puts you amongst the elites of the world, where you're now doing things that maybe you never thought you'd ever do. Like, that was such a palpable tale. Like, all those different bits, like when it went from him being like a baby toddler to 13, 14, being old enough then to have graduated, and then, like, working within, again, finance with the Coke and champagne and stuff. Like, you know, I could see it, the 22, 23 year old. Like, I know people like that. Do you know what I mean? Um and again, constantly chasing that next career progression, because again, that's what's been instilled from you, which in itself, like, being successful isn't a bad thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, and actually wanting to be successful isn't a bad thing, but it's what people do in the pursuit of that. You've only got to look at things like The Apprentice and stuff, and, like, what some of their VTs, I devour people for breakfast, I will kick over anybody to close a deal. And these are things that they're saying in order to get on the show. Like, you know, I'm the Thanos of business. Thanos destroyed half of the universe. Like, are you telling me that you're gonna be the person that I'm gonna go and buy Windows from? Like, I don't think so, mate. Um, but again, that's the goal. That's the aim. You know, to have that level of deviancy and that kind of cutthroatness and stuff. Like, you don't have the stomach for business if you can't do. And like I said there before we picked up the pew, like, we could be building a utopia. Like, if people were just like, willing to use their brains. Like, I keep thinking, like, which is, you know, again, another reason why this isn't entertainment, because it is real life. Like, you know, part of my channel and part of me, like, you know, spending so much time and curating this space and enjoying the things that I do, and trying to spread love where I can, like, is because there is a lot of negativity that is happening every single day out there. There are people in these boardrooms and people in these presidential suites and whatever else who are making decisions for the rest of us that have implications not just for us right now, for like generations of us moving forward. Like, and like, when he was saying there about, like, how can we not have learned from things that have happened already? Like, how are we still so hell bent on this succession of the money game, right? That we're willing to kind of have the countries go to war and stuff. And it's like, but we've been through this already. We've seen what that's like. We're meant to be, like, more conscious now and more aware and more capable, deeper of thought, and yet we still will resort to bearing arms against neighbors and against people, other humans who have got families and kids and children. Like, that's mental to me. It's absolutely mental. So, you know, burying my head with some Beyonce, or, you know, like, the latest R&B or whatever it might be that I'm reacting to, like, you know, I just, things like even like Heartstopper, like, which is like a romantic kind of LGBT story, like, just to remind people about the small things in life, the beautiful things that are there, like, and hopefully focusing on those kind of things can just help people to kind of just not be such a dick, like, do you know what I mean? And just, like, you don't need to have the hate in your heart. Allow the money game to either the career progression within the money game to get all the money to try and get yourself out of the situation, which ultimately might never get you out of the situation anyway, because like poor little Jimmy there, like he ended up offing himself in his wheelchair because he can't walk now because the cartel got him, because he then ended up, you know, drinking and using his products and stuff because he's the game is so toxic. There is no goodness there. And you've stepped over people in order to get to that position. So karma is come for you, and now you can't walk, and now you're in the rain. Ugh. Honestly, I don't know how he has got the creative imagination. Because again, we know these things are out there, like we see it every single day. But for someone to be able to kind of like really like, and more so than any song I've heard like recently, and again, there might be some spoken word, some writers, um probably some rap artists as well, actually, that maybe I just haven't listened to. But like, there's definitely, I know, conscious music out there, 100%, in different ways. But in this kind of really unifying, I'm gonna get to the root cause here of what the majority of the problems are in the world today. Politics, law and order, like you mentioned, what do you do in a game that's already rigged? And what do you do? What do you do? What do you do? Honestly, I mean, my intention was to do some more Ren tonight, but I feel like I might need to leave any more Ren for this evening and come back to this tomorrow. Um, and this is not Ren's fault at all, like, because what he's curated here is a big dose dollop. I'm gonna slap you in the face, yeah, with what the world is like, the world that you live in, the world that you participate in, the world that we all are part of and all got a part to play. Um, and it forces you, holds a mirror. It forces you to think about your part in that, like, and you know, the things that are important, and and the things that aren't important. Um, and is that not the purpose when you're an artist or a singer? Like, I know if I was an artist and was putting music out there, that I would want to be, if it wasn't music I was making to make people feel love and empowered and stuff, like, you know, it would be consciousness, self-empowerment, like self-belief, and being aware of things. So he's done a job here. He's done a good job in being this, like, let me just color out exactly what the situation is like for many, many people. The hypocrisy, the hierarchy, the interculture wars, the chase for this thing that's derived from you being a small child and being told from not just your dad, like, but like from those around you and everything around you, that like this is the root. Like, you know, I went to a grammar school, like, and I don't think there was ever really, I mean, it might be different now because it's 2025, but you know, when I was leaving there, like, you're going to uni, you're going to uni to become a lawyer or a doctor or a banker or a this, da, 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 da. Like, you know, there was never really any, let's talk to you about some of the practical options of, like, I don't know, like learning a trade, like, or apprenticeships or any of that. And I get it, like, because, you know, a type of school or grammar school is or has been, like, you know, is one of those kind of elite places where they're looking at just those elements. But again, when you're geared towards that, like with parents who have been geared towards that and have got the Porsches and the Lamborghinis and the companies and the this and the other, like, you know, and again, it's not taking anything away from people that have worked really, really hard to get what they have. But when that is the focus and is the main focus, what is going to happen? Of course, kids are going to have the same mentality, because that's the next step, isn't it? Everyone's a Jimmy. Do you know what I mean? And if you're not a Jimmy, you're a waste man. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're what do you mean you don't want to do that? What are you gonna do with your life then? Where are you gonna be? What are you gonna have? How are you gonna get there? You know? So it's it's just really, intelligent storytelling. I think the video itself was superbly done. I really do think this is my favorite bit of Ren. I know I've said it about every time I see another piece of Ren, I'm like, this is my favorite. But I think just in terms of how deeply relevant this is, I'm not saying it necessarily throws up any solutions aside from, obviously, we could build a utopia and we could be doing this. I don't know how you get out of a money game that has existed since, the majority of us have been alive and way before, and will be around, for a lot longer. So I don't know how you get out of that. But to create a song that talks about it, the journeys of it, the pitfalls of it, the inevitability of some of it, I think is super clever. And each part was distinctively different as well. Do you know what I mean? Like the first bit, like with just the lyrics, the second bit with like the video shots and all the snap DuckTales, Scrooge McDuck with all his money. Do you know what I mean? And then that video where we're actually physically seeing the different stages of this man's life. With the cartel, the shooting, ending up in the chair. Like, it did remind me of High Ren as well, to be fair. I was like, I wonder if the same chair, or maybe the same unit in which he did High Ren in. But I'm just a little bit blown away because, again, things like this, like, it's more than just the music. But the fact that you're able to do what you've done here and musically make it something that is like that part 3, for example, I probably wouldn't put, like I was saying earlier about the other two, I probably would play those like and have there's like a song that Miss Dynamite did that she had on her album. I don't know, I think it's called Dear Brother. No, it's not called Dear Brother. Every day I wake up, I feel like crying. I don't even feel like singing. 'Cause everywhere I look, my people fighting. And it's our own that we killing. The same gunmen that cry out suppression of the white man and his racist oppression. Go at church and give God his confession. Gonna name pocket and a crack in his possession. That song, if you know that song anyway. And again, like, it's not the kind of song that you want to hear very often because it is really like, do you know what I mean? But melodically, like, it's like the way that she sings it, it's like, it's really beautiful. Like, it's tragic, but it's beautiful. That's how I kind of felt about the first two, part 1 and part 2. Like, I could imagine, like, and with the brass and the trumpets and or horns that came through like near the end of part 2, I was like, this is dramatic, this is big, this is but I can still imagine playing it. Do you know what I mean? Because he's spitting some facts, but it's bouncy. It didn't bounce like that for me in the third one, but it felt more like I am plugged into like a show here. Like I've come to like a theatre production or something. Do you know what I mean? Like this ain't the time for no whooping and a hollering or whatever. This is just sit in, buckle in, and just watch. Do you know what I mean? That's the vibe I got from that. So it may not be something that I listen to in my playlist or whatever, but it definitely was something that I revisit just again to see the masterpiece of what he's put together there. I'm blown away, honestly, really blown away. I feel like I've watched a movie. It's an hour and a half later, like, and I'm still talking about it. Like, oh my god. I definitely will make a shorter version for YouTube. I don't think anyone wants to hear me rambling for an hour and a half, but incredible. Absolutely incredible. I'm looking forward to watching the next few bits. I think I'm gonna do is it back 74? So something about 74. I think I'm actually gonna do Wade in the Water actually, because that was on the list. That was on my mind to do from before. So Wade in the Water. And then I might do the love music series actually, because there's a love music series. So hopefully the love one is a little bit more, because again, it's not his fault that the reflection of the world is what it is. Do you know what I mean? But hopefully the love one is a reflection of the amount of love that there is still in the world, because there is. Do you know what I mean? Like, you might have some of those people that are making decisions for some of us, but a lot of us, whether it's just waking up and seeing a beautiful sunrise, or the smell of a beautiful flower, or the taste of a delicious cake, or actually the love of a good person. Do you know what I mean? Whether it's a romantic connection or not, there's lots of there's lots of great things about the world too. Do you know what I mean? As much as, you know, there are a lot of bad things too. But you know, we can't be consumed with the bad things, because you just never get up out of bed. Do you know what I mean? And there are some really beautiful things as well. So anyway, I'd love to know what you guys made of this. Like, I feel like I've been talking for a long time. Like, what part did you like the most? If there was a part that you liked the most, were there any particular like rhyming schemes or sets of bars that really hit home for you the most? Was there anything that like I've missed that you think, oh, actually you didn't hear me mention or whatever? Yeah, just let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. If you did enjoy this reaction, then please do drop me a like and subscribe. That would be amazing. Thank you very much. And if you do want access to my reactions before they come to YouTube, then please head over to my Patreon. Oh God, I even hate even saying this after just watching this. Like, oh my God. But it is there, and it would be a great way to support the channel, like if you want to. But yeah, for now, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you on the next one.